Warning: the No AC Only Fans podcast may include content not suited for non-mature audiences who can't take a joke. We would like to apologize to absolutely fucking nobody. Enjoy.
Welcome in to the No AC Only Fans podcast with your host, Big Crispy, aka Big Simpin, aka Tyler Gum. Not sitting across the table like always, my main man, Christian Klein. We'll get into, I guess, all that stuff here in a little bit. Let's just start off this podcast right. I'm not sure if anybody's are drinkers out there. I'm sure 90% of us are. I'm a person. I like bourbon, and I've been getting into it a lot more, thankfully to my buddy Russell that I work with. And I figured I was going to crack this on stream. I already opened it because it required pliers because it was a pain in the fucking ass. Because this fucking part's broken off for some reason, so I had to fucking twist two things at once. Whatever. So I'm gonna try my first pour of this on here, and we're gonna get into it. It's the 27th right now of January, and we released a video not too long ago. With me and Christian, we filmed it on the 6th, and I think we released it the second Friday of the year. And it was kind of just explaining where we were and where we've been and what we've been doing. And, there was a lot of high hopes that came out of that podcast. I was really, excited and motivated for what was going to become of the year, and stuff like that. And I was, hopeful for all the good things to come. And now, if I'm being honest, I don't know what the fuck we're doing anymore. As you can see, Christian's not here. He basically, went to his ex's house to get some stuff. And basically has not left there. Pretty much stayed there. Obviously goes to work and shit, but pretty much they're back together. They're moved in with each other. Yada yada yada. I would like to blame the reason we didn't have an upload this past week was due to basically we didn't get together the weekend before. There was a snowstorm. Really wasn't that bad, but whatever. That prevented us from getting together. Christian didn't want to drive. No big deal, whatever. Move along. Thought we were just going to skip a week. But here we are. Again. So I needed to create something, so I figured I'd sit down and talk to you guys. I'm going to try this first. Damn, that's good. Smooth. And tasty. I definitely recommend, like I said, shout out to Russell. That Weller Special Reserve, obviously it's not the fancier of the two, but for, I think it was like $24 with tax, that was $24 with tax. I think it rung up like 23. Maybe it was more, maybe it was like 25 or something like that. For that price point, it's pretty damn good. I'll give it that. Now, we did have to wait in line, and I did have to stand out in the cold without a jacket because I'm a dumbass, and I forgot it, and it was snowing, and it was probably like negative, but it wasn't negative anything. But it was probably like 20-some degrees outside. We weren't outside for long. It's all good. But I would say that $20 well spent. For bourbon, at least, as if people are fans of bourbon, it can get pretty expensive. I think that's one thing that's holding me back from having a bigger collection is I don't feel like spending secondary prices, if anybody's familiar with that, aftermarket basically. The secondary market is crazy and shit's expensive. But if you do have a black steel bourbon and you're watching this for some reason, hit me up because I would love that because I will sell my 2 testicles if I have to get that, even though it was a limited run. We're hoping that we're going to find it one day. But fuck all that. We're getting back into the shit. So yeah, basically we didn't get together, the weather, yada, yada, yada. But I mean, I know, I would assume that, Christian's going to watch this and, we really haven't spoken much. I'd say that's more on my end. He has texted me once or twice kind of, but it was, like I said, it was kind of just shit that was, I really didn't have to reply to it. So, I mean, I replied to him to the roads, I think, but we just really haven't spoke. And I feel like that's kind of both of us, but mostly me. I was excited for him to move in here, like we talked about on the podcast episode before, and I was rearranging the podcast studio room, which obviously everything's kind of back in order, but I was doing a lot of work, moving shit around in the basement. We were going to put the podcast studio down there. We were going to switch it up so he could have this room, because it's the only other bedroom that's open besides Lily's, which obviously she's in that. In mine. But yeah, basically, I was making a move and I was excited for that. I was excited for the creative adventure. I feel like I do suffer from a fucking bad gene pool of, depression and shit like that. And honestly, on the weekends I'm alone and shit, it fucking sucks. And, I don't really have anybody to hang out with. Nobody really chat with on a regular basis. That's also, I blame myself for that because I don't want to be around a lot of people because a lot of people suck and a lot of people have done me wrong. So I just don't fuck with people. And it's plain and simple, but it sucks to be alone. I was excited for him to move in, to have a constant thing. That's also motivation. I have somebody here that I can help shoot stuff that I want to shoot. Because that's a challenge right now is I have a tripod, but, it's not 100% what I need to do. I don't have somebody to bounce ideas off of. I don't have somebody to work with on a regular basis. And it's really hard when it's not only I set up everything. I record everything, all that stuff. I edited it all. I tried to do all my own adventures and shit. I created Lily a YouTube channel. She really wanted to do that. We filmed our first video and stuff, and it's just been in one of those situations where I was doing all this stuff to get her first video up, and I'm at a standstill because I have to create the intro, and, I want her to, have a creative thing in it, and she's at a standstill with it where she doesn't really find something she likes, but I'm not, I'm trying to create something on a budget here. I don't have a bazillion dollars, and it's every intro kind of that we've come to, and effects and whatever, it gets expensive for some of those especially if you're like me. Sometimes you just want to take it easy and get a template or a pre-made thing where you can just add your own flair to it. I created a couple ideas on my own. I created a couple ideas with some templates that I found offline. And we just haven't come to an agreement. So, I'm at a standstill that now too. And it's just, I've lost all creative ability for myself. And then I feel like I'm letting her down by, not getting her shit done and edited and uploaded because she wants to create more videos and stuff. And it just, I don't know, it put me in a bind mentally. But there's also, other personal reasons, with, being excited to him moving in, and then it feel like, I finally can save a little on my own and shit, because being a one, single parent and having your kid with you, it kind of fucking gets hard and shit's expensive. And that's just for real. And, obviously you can manage your money all you want, but it seems like life always throws a curveball, which I can't blame life. I'm responsible for my own actions and shit like that. But, cars broken down multiple times since yada, yada, yada. It's just hard to save money nowadays. And it's hard when you fucking are, like, barely making it, You got enough to pay groceries, boom, boom, boom. You're flexing your bills, you know what I mean? Like, still paying off shit. Thank God for credit cards. That's been amazing. Helped my credit a ton. Being able to fucking just make payments on shit like that. And my credit score's gone up. My fucking limits increases. Like, that shit's good on that side, but still, a lot of people our age, I know, it's hard to save money unless you're a 2-income household or anything. And I know there's 2-income households that can't even fucking save money. You know what I mean? So it's hard for motherfuckers out there. So I was excited on that because we would both been able to save money and we could have invested more into the podcast and invested more into ourselves and our future and everything. And now it just kind of seems like that's been a big halt in it, with everything. And I don't know what I'm gonna really do at this point. I need to stop saying a lot when I'm talking and it be like shit like that, in the editing, because I see it and I don't cut it out, obviously, unless it's excessive. But usually I don't cut the video for any reason. But basically, that's a thing to work on, right? We can always make ourselves better, make a better host, yada, yada, yada. More fluent with the thing. I'm getting off track here. Anyways, basically, yeah, it would have been a help financially. We could have invested more. We could have done more. I had high visions, and now I'm at the point where I'm questioning if this is even a smart idea anymore. Is it even worth doing this anymore? I would be lying if I didn't tell you I've been thought just flying solo. I've always wanted to stream and do content and stuff like that, and having a new computer and shit like that. There's a couple times I've tried to stream, but I really haven't put intent into it because I've, wanted to do stuff like this, and I've written a lot on my own, just different stories and stuff like that I want to create. But that requires, other friends, help, actors, whatever you got to do. It requires planning time on a weekend to film and all that shit. And just right now, it's like that just hasn't been a priority, and I feel bad. But it really sucks not having the help. And I'm at this point questioning when we would speak again. I would be lying too if I'd say I wasn't pissed at Christian. Cause it was just kind of one of those things that, it's more personal reasons. It's nothing that nobody really needs to know or care, but there's just certain shit that I just can't support either side in this. I want him and her both to be happy. That's fine. But I see a lot of similarities from shit that I dealt with. And, there's just a couple other things, things that have happened between the time apart and, just shit that was said by either side and yada, yada. I just don't feel comfortable supporting something that I feel like I was being honest with both parties when, what are you supposed to do when your two friends reach out to you that are splitting up and they're both asking for advice and shit? You listen to both sides, you talk to each of them, you try to be there for them, you give your honest opinion. I would be lying. I'm not saying I was honest the whole way through with both of them. They asked how I felt about it. I gave my opinion with the issues they had, the questions they had. I know, both sides fairly decent. Now, it's just one of those things where it's all personal shit, and it's stuff that nobody else should be really involved in. But yeah, it's just, I don't know. It's got me in a position where I'm just kind of, I don't want to be a dick and not talk to my friend. But I also feel awkward, talking or acting like nothing happened, or any of that shit. Like, it's just weird. And the vibe's just really fucking off right now. And, it sucks. It really sucks. but I was thinking about, streaming more, doing more gaming content. I love to play games. I play a lot of games with my brothers and shit. It's kind of like an escape. But I really just haven't figured out that, like, editing of games, or, it'd be fucking nice if I could hire an editor. But that's not life, and life's not that crazy, but I just need to dedicate time, and go for it. But it's hard when you have a job too, which, the recent depressions and stuff has even affected me there. Like, there's been a couple days where I just haven't wanted to really done shit. You know what I mean? I do what I have to do, but I don't go above and beyond like I want to, or do anything crazy. I kind of just skate by right now, and it sucks because I love my job. It's not anything like that. It's just, dealing with the own personal shit, and then not really, like, I don't know. I'm just not one to talk about, like, shit that's going on and stuff. So I don't really get to express it or get it out. I'm doing it right now. But I don't have that person or anything, like, to confide into or anything that I trust. That was Christian. But I can't, where am I supposed to go when I can't even talk to my own friend about, like, the shit that's going through, because it kind of involves them. You know what I mean? You're in one of those positions. But yeah, I need to figure out what I want to do. I need to do it for me. I want to do it for my own creative passion. I want to film stuff, yada, yada. Everything. And at this point, another thing, a strong thing that always kind of resonated with me, which I didn't really notice until I kind of, really looked into my own life and my own friendships and shit like that, and people that I've hung around with and shit. But, one of my coworkers said the one time, basically, you attract the things that you hang around with your friends, right? That's always a thing. Like, you attract whatever. But if you hang out with people that don't want to do anything with their life, then you're never going to do anything with your life, is basically kind of how it was put. But if you're around people that want to have, like, a drive of motivation, or wealthy people, or people that have that different mindset, like, you are going to be successful because, you hang out with them, and then you get that mindset and you start bouncing things, and different opportunities open up and stuff like that. And that's one of my things. Like, I, started thinking about that, and I really looked at a lot of relationships in my life and friendships, and, stuff like Johnny Ross, you know what I mean? Like, that, no offense to Johnny, I love him to death, but it's almost impossible to be around him, you know what I mean? Like, I love the dude, but at the same time, it's like, he's just drama 100% of the time, and, there's just nothing there that, like, yeah, I would love to have him come along, with the journey or whatever. Like, he's helped us with a lot of videos and shit, and has been a funny character. Like, I'd love to do shit with him, but, like, I just can't be around him until I get to that point where I can succeed, you know what I mean? Because it's just always a negative thing there. And just all the negative relationships in my life, I've realized, like, you got to kind of cut ties with that shit. Because it drags you down. You don't really think about how it affects you until, you really reflect on it and think about all the good and the bad out of situations and shit like that. And it's just weird. And I think about all the people that have motivated and, done nice things and said, gave actual criticism and support you and shit like that. And other people that are driving, like, to you to be better and shit like that. And I've looked at those relationships and thought, like, damn, I should really take the advice of these people and do things. And it's, like, to the point where one of the things is, like, I want to get my real estate license with my work and stuff now, mainly because I want to have it so I can then start learning that side of the business. I was always good with sales. Like, I did door-to-door sales for 2 years, loved it, blah, blah, blah. Like, I like the sales aspect. Will I make that transition fully there? I don't know. But it's nice to have. But it's one of those things, it's like, shit like that's kind of expensive for me. So it's one of those things where it's like, okay, I have to look into funding it. Okay, get the, money, blah, blah, blah. That's kind of where I'm at there, but that's kind of like discouraging too, to sit there and think like, damn, like, I want to reach this goal, but then I'm at a crossroads, but then that's the whole point of the goal and the crossroad is to figure your way out, right? Like, it's not one of those things that I can't figure out, or I will save and do whatever. It's a goal. I'm going to set it. I'm going to complete it. Shit like that. It's going to happen. I'm not concerned about it. I know once I get over this hump and get that little jolt back, we'll be good to go. But yeah, it's just one of those things, man. It's just a weird time right now. And if I'm being honest, like, I know, like I said, Christian's probably listened to this, and I don't know what he feels or how he feels or whatever, if he finds something awkward. I know, like I said, I think he is kind of aware that I'm pissed off or upset or whatever. I think he knows that. I think I'm not the only one. I think there's a lot of people in his life as well that probably feel some sort of way or feel like it was a smack in the face or a, random event or whatever, like shit like that. But I don't know. I haven't talked to anybody that's close to any of us. I haven't really asked anybody. I haven't talked to him, haven't talked to anybody, and it's, I don't know. We'll see where it goes. I don't know what that means going to further the podcast. If it continues, I'm honestly just going to keep filming solo episodes. This one's a little bit different. The one we released was a little bit different, but we'll get back into segments. I would like to start taking voicemails. I would like to set up like a voicemail box. People can call in, leave questions and shit. We'll do on the podcast. I think that would be a little bit fun. Have more guests on, more people, more call-ins, really market. And, if I would hate to say it, I don't want to rebrand, but if it ever comes down to that, or if I have to split off into my own thing, I mean, it's just going to be is what it is. Like, this is always going to be our project, and I don't want it to be just my project. But I just don't know where we stand right now. And that's kind of that. Other than that, things that are going on, really just like talking to the people, right? Put all this drama aside, whatever. I hope everybody is doing well. I hope people that are suffering through shit like I go through and stuff. Like I said, I'm always open to talk to anybody if they ever have any problems. Try to just be honest and, really sit down and take a look at your life. I think that's one thing I've noticed a lot lately with people, which is kind of irritating, is not a lot of people take responsibility for their own actions. If you put yourself in a situation, you should, instead of complaining about it and saying it's life or it's the world or whatever, you should probably, step back, take a look at what you did to get there, or what, you did recently to get there, and, really come that into question. You can't really blame others. You kind of have to start blaming yourself, and that's the only way you're going to grow and shit like that. Yeah, I don't know where I'm really going off on this rant, but basically, like, I want to turn it positive. I hope everybody's doing well. I hope everybody's achieving their New Year's goals. If you haven't, it's not too late to start if you haven't. You know what I mean? I'm not going to fault anybody. My New Year's goal is, I really want to start actually committing to, like, working out and getting healthier and stuff like that. And that's always been a struggle throughout my life. I'm not gonna lie about that. The depression and, like, depression eating and stuff like that's a fucking thing, and it sucks. But I've done steps and stuff to work on that, and it's get a lot better, actually, I would say. But I'm excited. We're moving into our new office. We're gonna have a gym in there. That's one thing always holding me back too, is, like, I never wanted to have to fucking drive to a Planet Fitness or something like that. I don't know. I just don't like working out in public. I like working out at weird hours, late at night, shit like that. You know what I mean? Shit that's just either late at night after work. Kind of, those are my two times. So, like, on the weekends I'm free, I might be up in that fucking bitch for 2 hours. But my goal is to go every single day after work. Mostly throughout my week. My schedule is pretty flexible. After school, you know what I mean? My mom, big help, would pick Lily up. Usually, she can watch her for a little bit in case there's something, if I stop working at 4, get a workout in, leave at 5, boom, home by 5:30, that type of shit. Same thing with, on the days my mom doesn't pick her up, and she goes over to the neighbor's house. Mostly we're good except Thursday. They got ballet at like 5:30 or whatever, so I just got to make sure I'm there, by that time and shit like that. But yeah, like that's a goal of mine, and the setback of the move kind of sucked a little bit. It got pushed back a little bit further, but it's gonna be in the beginning of February, so I'm not really, upset by that. Like, it's not like it's gonna be another 3 months or something. But making the changes, what you can now and stuff like that. It's one of those things where, I really I've made it a plan to myself. Like, I don't want to necessarily be buying pop for myself anymore, because that's the thing that's like a bad habit of mine, is if it's here at the house, like, I'll fucking drink it. You know what I mean? Like, I'll fucking drink it over drinking water sometimes. Not always the best. Maybe have like two. I usually don't drink more than 2 a day. But still, 2's too many. You know what I mean? One a day is even a lot. But that's a thing that I'm going to make a change to. I've already, made that a thing to myself, is I'm not going to buy shit that's not good for me. You know what I mean? Food wise, I did really good with that. I fucking bought no junk food at all for myself. I bought shit for Lily for when she takes snacks to schools and stuff, and that was all healthy shit. I bought like carrots and all that stuff. And look, you fucking eat it. When you're hungry and you only have a certain food in the house, you'll fucking eat it. You'll find something to eat. You'll find a way to make it work, right? So if I'm hungry and I want a fucking snack and I got carrots and I got salad, I'm fucking making a salad, or I'm eating some fucking carrots. And like, that's way better than fucking reaching for a Nutty Buddy bar or something. I'll tell you that. So that's like a thing, you can stay up if your weight loss journey, that's something you guys want to do, work on this year. Start with that. You know what I mean? Just control what you don't buy the junk. And if it needs to, I didn't fucking speak right there. But if you need to, I thought of the idea of if I don't want to buy the junk, now I'm not lazy. I've never used it. I don't know a situation I would want to use it. I just feel like I want to go inside and buy my groceries. But you could always just order your groceries online on that pickup and then just go pick them up. So you don't go into the store and you don't get temptations and shit like that. Plan your meals throughout the week. Only buy the ingredients you need for those meals, that type of shit. So you don't indulge yourself in the bad stuff. You can, that's a good step to start. Baby steps, you know what I mean? And if you're not subject to working out or whatever, you've got to form a habit. And I can't remember what fucking, I don't remember if it was on My 600 Pound Live or where I seen it or something, or My 1,000 Pound Sisters. But there was something about like a story about a guy, of going to the gym, and it's creating a habit, right? That's one of people's biggest problems is you don't want to go to the gym now because you don't go anyways, right? It's not a routine for you. It's not a habit. But one guy literally, like, he would come to the gym every single day. He would just walk in the doors. He would go on the treadmill, and he'd walk on the treadmill for 5 minutes, a minute, you know what I mean? Nothing long. And he did that every single day for 6 months. And the gym staff was like, what the fuck's going on? And, he continued to go, and then he started going longer and longer and longer. And then the next thing you know, he was there for like 3 hours a day. And like, basically they asked him, like, why did you decide to do that or whatever? Why made you go from 5 minutes a day to 3 hours a day or whatever? And one of the biggest things that the guy says is it's forming a habit. You're not going to go and do it unless it's a habit of yours, right? So he made it a habit to go to the gym every day. Not necessarily work out every day, not necessarily work out for long every day, but the habit of going. And then the habit grew over time. He's going every single day. He's going, and then he just started a little by little. I'm going to stay 10 minutes today instead of 5. And building that habit and just increasing it slowly, it was like he was training his brain like this is a normal thing. And then he just keeps going and going and going. And then he's, like you said, boom, next thing you know, he's going every single day for 3 hours a day. So, form habits and shit like that. Do what you got to do. anything to make it easier on you, there's resources out there and shit for that. And it couldn't even be working out stuff. Maybe, you want to write. Maybe you want to create something. Maybe you want to edit some videos, or, maybe you want to be a professional gamer. Maybe you want to fucking be a scientist. Maybe you want to learn how to fly a helicopter. Whatever it is, there's places to start, and there's plenty of information out there. Look it up and fucking go do it, man. If you're unhappy with where you are or what you do or whatever, and you're able to take the risk, take the risk. I'm not saying it's always the smartest idea, but at the same time, it's like, one of the other things I read, a lot of people die regretting not even attempting to go after what they want to do. So go after it. You know what I mean? If I have to put out shit content for 5 years in a row before I make anything good, I will put out shit content for 5 years in a row before I make anything good. I will sit here on this couch, mumble, drinking fucking bourbon, high as a kite, fucking not giving a shit about anything right now, depressed, lonely, fucking whatever. If that's what I gotta do, that's what I gotta do. You know what I mean? Because better times ahead, and manifesting my fucking future is what I gotta do. And you gotta do it too, Everybody's gonna fucking... people gotta achieve and shit, man. We're not meant to be put on this earth to just fucking work full time and be miserable and yada, yada, yada. That's not what you're meant to do. You want to live a happy life, So fucking go do it. I'm not gonna regret it. That's one thing I'm gonna say. If I have to do this forever... eventually something's gonna click, or something in me is gonna click, because it's gonna be a habit, right? That's my thing. Making a habit. Uploading once a week. I didn't have to make this video. I could have just not uploaded anything. It's Friday. I'm releasing this on Saturday. I should be releasing it on Friday. But it's a habit, right? I fucked up. I didn't record this earlier in the week, yesterday, when I probably should have. Or Wednesday, or fucking Tuesday. I chose to do other things instead of making this a priority. But it's a habit, right? You're never going to be perfect on the first one. But I made a video. That's all that matters, right? I made a video, and I'm going to upload it tomorrow. No ifs, ands, or buts. Whether that takes away my time from something I want to do, then that's what it is. It's just one of those things, creating the habit. And everybody should, chase that fire that you got in you or whatever. I don't want to end up, in a shit place, fucking hating life or whatever because I didn't do anything. Who doesn't say that 10 years down the line? You think you have it good because I'm fucking living in a suburban neighborhood in like a fucking $600,000 house, and I got a good job, and I don't know, I'm fucking married with like 3 kids. Doesn't mean I'm gonna be fucking happy with what I've done in life. Could be happy, but that also couldn't make me happy. And I think that's apparent from past relationships and shit too, that I've never really spoke upon. I've never really like touched basis on with a lot of that stuff. But yeah, I think that's affected me a lot throughout life and just in general. I think I've made a lot of mistakes just because I'm unhappy, and it's one of those things where I really never felt at home for a long time, and I really don't feel comfortable with anybody or like have that go-to person. So I think it's just a habit. But you just got to work on yourself, and I think the happiest way I'm going to be in life, because I'm happy when I succeed at stuff like this, I think that's just the happiness I have to chase, and other things will come along the way. I'm not focused on anything else right now. You know what I mean? Why put my time and effort into something that I don't really care for? Not like, I hate being alone, but I also don't want to be with somebody and waste my time. It's just one of those weird ass fucking things. Other than that, content that I want to do, we'll talk about some of that stuff. Some of the stuff I've been writing, some of the stuff I've been thinking about, some of the stuff I want to create. If anybody wants to be involved in any sort of way, or if anybody wants to be a part of it, or a guest or actor or something, or if anybody's even fucking watching at this point, drop in the comments, what you want to do, or if you want to be a part of anything I say, or yada, yada, yada. One story I want to create, which is kind of, obviously we have Dr. Riverdozer, but we haven't written on that at all. And that's another project that it requires Christian at this moment, and that's obviously up in air. So I'm not thinking about that project. But the one project I want to work on, I still don't have a name for it, a title or whatever. But it's basically kind of like a situation that I've thought of in my head, or I've dreamt about, or deja vu or some shit, like a secondary life of mine, right? Kind of way some shit going. But that's not really what it's about. It's not like me. It's not about my life. It's not about my relationships. But it's just shit that I've compiled throughout my life that I've thought about. That's kind of I feel like would make a good it's not really a love story. It wouldn't be a love story because it's it's more of what's that fucking movie with Will Ferrell where he sells all this shit? It's basically one of those going from your lowest points to your highest point, Pursuit of Happiness type shit. But basic plot of the movie is husband comes. I wanted it to start out with a fucking intro, right? And the intro is just gonna be a couple, it's gonna start with a couple or something like that, and I don't know, maybe they're fucking celebrating an anniversary or some shit like that. So that's where it's gonna start. And it's gonna then go into this weird fucking montage of everything they did, their life. Moments before when they were young, before they got married, before they had kids, shit like that. And it's kind of just do a little playthrough, right? And then the end of the intro, they're kissing, right? And then it the camera boom pans in, zooms straight up forward onto the kiss, kind of drowning out the background and shit, right? And then boom, it pulls away, and as it pulls away, your faces part, and then boom, right as the faces part, you open up to the guy, the husband, standing in the doorway, watching his wife kiss another man in the fucking bed. And he just loses his shit. You know what I mean? He just fucking goes nuts, man. Real upset and just destroying shit. You know what I mean? Just, I don't know why, but breaking shit. I don't know if it's breaking shit. Whatever, but he just basically he's losing it. You know what I mean? Kids aren't home. We don't have to worry about the kids seeing it. We're not gonna fucking involve that shit yet. But just some shit like that, and they're gonna lose their shit. Blah blah blah. The mom's gonna leave with the kids. The fucking dad's sitting there in his broken house. And then this was one story I actually wrote, and I released it as the Green Door or something, or something Walls. I have to find it. I released it on Storyfire. And it was kind of a something that honestly fucking happened to me in real life. Weirdly enough, I don't know what the fuck was going on. But I walked up, I got home from work one day when I was working in the factory. Shit fucking hole of a place to work. Miserable. 13 fucking hour days sometimes. Fucking, 6 days a week. Fucking hated it. Barely got to see Lily. Just hated it. Miserable. That was the lowest point of my fucking life. And I'm so glad I'm not there. But that was literally the lowest point of my life. And I came home from work one day, and there was something going on with me and my child's mother. I don't remember what at the time. But I literally just came home from work one day, and as I get out of my car, and there's I don't know how to explain it, but my apartment was above a bank and above a lawyer's office, and an electrical store in downtown Upper Sandusky. And basically it was one of those classic real tight small staircase going almost straight up, and then a platform, and then my door. But it was I was seeing light shine in that hallway. And I started, like, walking into the hallway. God, that shit's good. I was walking in the hallway, and, like, it legit was like I was seeing projections of shit on the walls, like memories. Like Lily being born, and, you know, shit with me and her mom, and it just was all shit like that, you know, shit of times I enjoyed when I was younger, and blah, blah, blah. And I don't know what sign that was or what it was, but, like, I just walked up, and I was, like, super depressed seeing that. Like, it made me sad. It didn't make me happy. And, like, I'm walking up the stairs, you know, and it's just, like, one fucking picture after another, one projection after another. Different memory after different memory. And then I walk into my house, and I turn and face my green door. I fucking hate that green door. And then, like, I open the door, and then it's just like, boom, the living room. You walk right into the living room. The fucking place is just lit up with different memories, different projection type shit. And I remember, like, I walked in, I, like, just kicked my shoes off or something. And I literally walked to my fucking kitchen. It's, like, probably 7 steps to the left. I walked into my kitchen. I literally grabbed, what was it at the time? Basil Hayden, maybe? No, it was some liquor, some whiskey. I literally just grabbed this bottle off the top of the fridge, and, like, as I walked in the kitchen, I see shit too, you know what I mean? Like, I literally saw it everywhere, bathroom, bedroom, yada. We'll get to that. I literally just, like, walked to the kitchen and, like, grabbed a bottle of something and, like, went and sat on the couch and just fucking, like, started drinking straight out of the bottle. And I really wasn't, like, a big drinker. Like, I was a lot bigger of a drinker then, because I was just depressed, and I didn't really smoke weed a lot back then. Just really wasn't my thing at that time. But that probably would have helped. So, like, I just drank a lot, and it was never good for me. I always just got fucked up, and then, you know, would just be depressed. This was when I was by myself, right, before Lily was there all the time. And it was just one of those things that was, like, really sad and depressing, and, like, I just sat on the couch, and I'm, like, just watching shit, you know what I mean? And, like, as shit's playing, like, tears just, like, start rolling. Not like a seeping cry, but, like, just falling out of my face. And I'm, like, watching these different memories and shit. And, like, I know you just close your eyes and imagine it. Like, you're just sitting there, right? And you're fucking, like, I'm looking down to the right. I got my fucking jeans on. My stupid blue Hannon Systems fucking shirt that's all torn. Little fucking holes in it and shit. Fucking probably have those stupid fucking cloth gloves with that stupid black rubber coating on it that would fall off in a day, that would wear holes in those gloves in a day, calluses, cuts all over my arms and shit. And I just look down, like, to the right, and I'm looking at the bottle, and I'm fucking taking a drink, like, put my head back, and then I'm fucking opening my eyes, and, like, my TV's mounted on the wall right here. You know, I'm fucking sitting on my couch, and I'm just, like, looking, and then I'm, like, looking over here on this side wall, and then I'm looking over here at the fucking door in this side wall. And I don't know. I literally fucking drank, like, half a bottle of whiskey or whatever the fuck it was at that time. I'm pretty sure it was whiskey. And then I just, like, fucking stumbled and pissed, and then went, like, stumbled into my room, you know what I mean? Like, just fucking walked down the halls and, like, putting my fucking hand on one wall and just, like, looking up, and then, like, slowly fucking making my way down the hallway, you know, passing Lily's room that, you know, was her room, that little fucking tiny ass room, that barely fit her fucking bed in it, and her stuff. And, like, I just, you know, stumbled into my huge ass room and fucking just went in and, like, plopped down on my bed, and just, you know, it was one of those things where you just, like, you're looking at shit in your room and different things playing again, and then I just started to close my eyes and fucking passed out. And then I got up for work. Or actually, no, I think this was the day that I was over it. I'm pretty sure this was the day this happened. Yeah. It was after that. I woke up to go to work the next day. I had to be there at 3:30. I think my alarm went off at like 2. And I just never got out of bed. I literally just sat there and I laid there and I tossed and I turned. I didn't even watch anything on my phone. I just laid and stared at the wall. And stared at the ceiling and just was miserable. One day goes by, no call, no show at work. Coworkers got worried about me. People actually ended up showing up to my house, knocking on the door, hollering in the hallway, and I'm just laying in bed and I'm just listening to, pretty sure it was like Andrew. I don't think that was his name. I know there was Aaron and then Mark, and I can't remember the other guy's name for the life of me. He was a cool dude though. But yeah, like they were in the hallway and, they're yelling for me and shit. And they're like, yo, Tyler, like, you good? Like, you're alive, blah, blah, blah. Like, your car's out here, like, yada, yada, yada. And I just laid in bed. It went on for like 30 minutes. And I just didn't even have the fucking nerve to get up and be like, sorry, I'm fine. Or I'm not fine. I just laid there. And it was one of those really depressing times. And then, the next day goes by, same thing pretty much happens. They show back up, they're knocking this time. Rick, one of the guys that I wonder how he's doing, older guy. It was great to me though. Really good friend, invited me in and hung out with his family, and his older son had autism, and his name was Tyler too, and he was awesome. I had him stay the night at my house a couple times, played video games with him. Really, he motivated me. Me and him were gym partners for a long time, going to the gym and stuff like that. And, I fucked all that up. I fucked a really good relationship with them. I fucked a really good relationship with all the people I had at work. Because I was just depressed. And it was a real shitty time. But yeah, and then, that ended up to a couple months go by. Like, I don't know, it was one. I had enough money to, pay for rent and shit that month. And I just still haven't got a job. Still wasn't looking, didn't find a job. And it came down to it to where, I basically had to get out. I just told my landlord, like, yo, I know my lease doesn't end for like 3 months, but I just gotta move. Like, I just told him, like, emergency. I know it sucks. I got to get out of it. I just let him keep my deposit, and we called it good. And I got a fucking U-Haul. I think I had less than $200 at that time. I got a U-Haul because I remember they charged me for like a clean out fee after I put my shit in storage. And I was pissed because like I fucking cleaned it out. I swept it and everything. There was nothing wrong with that fucking van. Or that truck. I was kind of pissed. But they charged me like $100, and I remember being pissed because then I only had $100 to my name. And that was a whole thing. Like, I literally fucking moved that whole apartment by myself. My buddy Ricky hired, that fucking people know. I don't know. Obviously he listens to shit. He was working at the bank that was right across the street. And like he saw me moving my shit out with the U-Haul and like comes over and like, you moving? Like, fuck, he didn't know anything. I really haven't told him what was going on or nothing. And I was just like, yeah, man, like, I don't know. I'm just fucking going back to Columbus to stay with my mom because I just can't do this. You know what I mean? It was just one of those shitty times. I needed to be closer to Lily. And I didn't want to be there anymore. Life sucked. But yeah, I moved a whole fucking apartment, like a whole 2-bedroom apartment, all my fucking appliances. I fucking left my couch up there because I couldn't get the fucking shit down the stairway. It took me and my brother to take everything off of it. and I took everything off and tried to do it by myself, and I got stuck in the fucking hallway. So I had to, once I got it out, I said, fuck it, I'm just leaving it. But I took everything, man, fucking bed, both our beds, all that stuff, all the appliances, everything you can think of. I had a lot of shit and packed it all up in a fucking day. Literally, I think it took me 2 days, actually. It took me like a day and a half. Put 99% of my shit in storage. Put a couple bags of clothes and my essential shit that I was going to take, like this is why I love gaming so much, my fucking Xbox and shit like that. That shit I wasn't going to leave behind, the only shit that really made me happy at that time, my computer and shit. Packed all that shit up and kind of came to my mom's house and dropped a bomb and was like, I don't have a place to live. I need to move in. And that was that. And, obviously things have gotten a lot better to having my own fucking 3-bedroom house and being able to take care of Lily and, do everything on my own that I can for right now. But getting back into the story, I'm going to take a quick commercial break because I just want to make sure the camera's not going to die. But we'll get right back into it. Anyways, back where I was. Yeah, so that's basically that story. But I want that video that I want to make it a series, a mini movie, something like that. I want it to continue, it continues, he goes through kind of something similar to that. And then it opens up, to him kind of just getting his life back. He has a job and stuff, let's say he takes off like a week or something, says it's an emergency, comes back to work and everybody's like, oh, like, what's wrong, blah, 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 like, we haven't seen you, are you all right? Like, what's going on with you? Like, nobody knows what's going on. Like, you just have been MIA. Shit like that. And basically, he goes through that and he's at work and, oh, no, everything's fine. It's no big deal. Just, personal shit or make up a story or something like that. I don't know what I decided to do with that yet, but, he basically just, brushes it off. Nothing's wrong, whatever. And then he gets like a text, from his wife or something, or, well, should be ex-wife by now, yada, 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 like, I think I'm fine, I want a divorce type shit, which I wouldn't want to be with a fucking chick like that anyways. But basically, like, I want a divorce, I'm going for the kids, yada, 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 yada. I got a restraining order or something, maybe he gets a restraining order on him, because I need that anger. So yeah, I'd probably, he gets a restraining order, right, for, what he did when his wife was there, him going crazy. The mom's worried about the kids or something. Gets a restraining order, like a temporary emergency restraining order on the guy. And then he just fucking loses it at work. You know what I mean? Like, I imagine it with my desk set up now, but, he just fucking grabs the monitors, which I already have monitors that I can destroy, that I want to destroy, but, he just fucking grabs the monitors, right, and just fucking slams it on the ground, just fucking takes everything on his desk and just fucking start throwing it, just fucking knocking it all off, all pissed off. Breaks his mice, or his mouse, breaks his fucking keyboard, and fucking, takes the pictures of him and his wife and just fucking bust them on the ground, just break them. And, then he grabs the picture of, him and his kids, and he just, loses it, right, uncontrollably, just, starts crying, and, leans up against the wall, and just, the wall of his cubicle, or the wall of his office, or something, and just, starts to slouch, how you do it, where you lean up the wall, and then you see it all the time, and you start slowly falling to the ground, and it, pans to his coworkers, just fucking all standing there, not knowing what to do. They're all just looking. And he's just fucking bawling his eyes out. You know what I mean? Just fucking upset. And nobody knows what to do. You know what I mean? Nobody knows what to do. Everybody's just shocked. Everybody's just standing there. Everybody's just looking at each other. And like maybe his boss comes out and, you know, what the fuck is going on? And like, you need to go home, blah, blah, blah. Like, we'll call you when some shit. And like, this is like, I'm thinking about making it like a dead end job, right? Like, it's a job he doesn't want to do. So like, he gets sent home, then he gets fired. His life's a fucking mess. You know what I mean? And then like the court date comes. And he tells his side of the story, yada, yada, yada. And, or maybe that's what triggers him, like not a restraining order. Maybe his fucking kids get taken, like he loses the divorce battle and his kids get taken away. I don't know. I'm not tied either way. But he like destroys his shit. And then like he, you know, gets fired and he loses that job and then he decides to do what he wants to do. You know what I mean? He just kind of does his own thing. I don't know what that is yet. But he does his own thing and he starts succeeding. And he starts succeeding. And then he fucking makes a shit ton of money. So, and then something happens with the mom. The mom does something, like a kid confides in him about some shit, blah, blah, blah. And then he takes the mom to court. And then he wins the court battle. And then he gets custody of his kids. And then like yada, yada, yada. And then like all this shit builds up. And then maybe he's like some fucking successful millionaire or something. But there's got to be a twist to this story. I mean, I don't know. I don't want it to be the typical pursuit of happiness. I think I can make something cool that is that way, but I also kind of want to add a little fucking flair into it to make a second one, something like a curveball that you're never going to see coming. And you know, to do something like that, that's a project I want to work on. I need people. You know, I really need people. I need to write a script, a better script than just fucking some notes I wrote down on the paper. There's a funny story that my coworker told me. I won't say his name, but of a funny story that he told me about in college, of a Halloween party with a whole situation with a girl that I think would be a funny, just like comedic skit. Another one about a person that, you know, that I feel like I can do little skits with, and just do like a constant series of like fucking stories he tells me. I can just use those stories like as a starter point and then like create a series out of some shit. Or just fucking keep asking him for more stories because he's fucking hilarious, but he doesn't ever want to do anything like this. But yeah, I think there's just a lot of things that I want to create and start, and I can't just be held back anymore. Those are a couple things I want to do. I want to do Dr. Riverdozer still. I want to create some more serious stuff. I want to create more comic stuff. I honestly would like to be able to start doing stuff on TikTok, comedic videos, and like, you know, fucking dumb videos where I'm cooking and I make some wild shit, because sometimes I make some wild shit when I'm fucked up. Those are always funny, you know, something like that. Just recording stuff like that more. I need to train myself to just pick up the camera and record, or pick up the phone and record. You know, I got a good phone with a good camera. I can shoot videos and shit like that. You know, a simple, just need a phone stand, ring light, bull crap that everybody gets. But yeah, stuff like that. That's kind of one thing on my agenda. I want to restructure, how I would want to do a podcast, like I said, with videos and ideas and like segments and shit like that. That's unique to us. Not just unique, to other shit that like other ideas people have done, which people have done that. Some of the things I shouldn't say, but I got other things under wrap. I want to redo the intro to the Noaconlyfans podcast. I've already put together some videos and stuff and scripts, skits, and I've been working on trying to figure out how I want to do the intro. If I want to pay somebody to kind of sketch up what I want, and then I can just do the part where like adding the videos and stuff, like that's something I can do. I don't have to pay somebody to do that. But I would like to kind of have somebody create up like a drawn sketch video type idea or whatever that I can just insert my video into. I can figure that out on my own, the video part, but I'm not very good with the drawing part. So I'm going to hire somebody to do that. Hopefully it's not going to be too expensive, and kind of recreate this and, make a better intro and make a funnier one and make like a more of a series of a show. I wanted to do a sports show. Obviously with football and stuff ending, it's going to be kind of slow, but I think that's the best time to start it because it's a time where, we can start it up and push, for getting better. I can take the seasons that not everybody, is invested in full time, like football. There are baseball fans out there. There are fucking soccer fans and hockey fans and basketball fans and stuff like that. Not necessarily basketball and baseball or sports that I watch on a regular. I'll watch them, but I don't care for them that much. I'm not watching every single game. Kind of like I would do with hockey or football. But basically, like, cover shit like that. I created a Fate Entertainment Sports Network on my own before. I have a whole intro and everything. I was thinking of just using the same intro. And I honestly might just create a channel for it. Fate Entertainment News Network or whatever. I might just use that one. It's going to be separate from the Noaconlyfans. I've always wanted to start my own entertainment company. My personal YouTube channels are all like Fate Entertainment or Fate Killed No One Gaming. But I'm pretty sure it's just Fate Entertainment, actually. I changed it. And it's kind of a shell, but I kind of want to branch off into the different things, and I kind of just want to dabble in a little bit of everything. I just like to create, and I realize that's going to take a lot of work, and that might get to a point where if I have to go for my dream, then that's what I have to go for. If it becomes successful enough to where I could quit my job or something like that. But yeah, that's things I want to do. I have big plans and big dreams, and I just feel like at the point where we are now, I don't know if I have anybody alongside my side like I did before. And that's kind of where this is all coming full circle to. Is I think I have to focus on me and do my shit. And if this is also going to be a part of it, then it's going to be a part of it. But I can't let somebody else hold me back. And I can't let some bullshit hold me back either. And I would hope that person said people would not let the bullshit hold them back either. But, that's kind of where they are right now. So, I guess this is the episode. I appreciate anybody that's made it to this point. I doubt there's going to be many of you. I love you guys. I really do. This is an escape for me. This is something that I can do, that I can enjoy myself, and I can sit here and talk. Kind of lets me vent and get things off my chest. And if I have to do more solo episodes, I will. I kind of actually enjoyed this. In a good way. It was sad at times, but it was sad in a good way. I feel better about it. I don't feel worse. I'm going to end it with Song of the Day. Once again, if you enjoyed this episode, please give it a like, share it with some friends. Maybe somebody can get some motivation out of it. Subscribe if you haven't subscribed already. Obviously trying to build the subscribers and shit like that. I'm not doing a very good job at, stopping my thing or my thing that I said I was going to stop. I've been doing it a lot, but it's hard to think of a lot of shit when you're on your own. That's something you gotta practice. That's why fucking news anchors and shit like that practice for years. That's why you use teleprompters. But we're not that fancy here. It's just Big Crispy. Just did it. Basically, I have people that have connections and shit. I would like to really get back with Slapstick Comedy and Misha and shit and, link up with her again and see if we can do something. If that's solo, then I'll do it solo. I really don't give a fuck. But I like her. I like what she's got going for her, and they do a great job over there, and I would love to be, a part of anything that they do and stuff. And I enjoy watching her succeed and shit like that. Go check out her channel if you haven't. But like I said, if you haven't subscribed already, comment what you're excited about, any ideas you have, if you want to be a part of it, or if you want to be a part of any segments during the podcast. If you're excited about the voicemail, leaving voicemails or phone calls or anything like that. If you want to see that, let us know. Once again, I'm going to get into the song of the day. It's kind of fitting for the theme of the video, the color, and just kind of overall a song that has been on repeat for me the last couple months. I care for Zach Bryan a lot. I like his music, and you know what? If you haven't heard it before, enjoy the song of the day. Something in the Orange, fitting for this colorway in the video and fitting for the mood. Once again, I love you guys. I will see you back here hopefully next Friday. If not, next Saturday. I will get the video up. But like I said, I love you guys. I appreciate you for watching, and we will see you right